Network and the operators.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. On everyone. Shelly, you may have to lower that microphone because I'm sure that's coming across your face on. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on this TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Open line show where you, our audience, are our official guest host or co-host, I should say. And Shelly Lewis from our news department is joining us on the first portion of the show because this was such a heavy week as far as news is concerned. So we're going to talk about some news stuff. And then she obviously can't stay with me for the whole show because she got her own work to do, and I ain't paying her salary. So exactly. We got a lot to talk about, including. Okay. Okay, I think I just muted Shelly mic. Okay, and so they're gonna hear us through the GPS camera, including a big story that has just broken, where the Minister of National Security has issued a warning to trespassers, his words, that you got 14 good days
14
to get off the government land. And then after that, we can see what happens, because, we just hear these things and then we just wait and then we just wait and then. But anyway, before I digress, let me play the clip with the Minister of National Security issuing a warning to trespassers, and then Shelly and I are going to talk about it. And then y'all know we got plenty to talk about today. We got plenty to talk about, but let's get this breaking story out of the way first. So here now is the Minister of National Security.
I have to be sure that they operate completely safely. And so over the app, we're giving the general public, any transgressors, a fortnight, 14 days, to desist from their trespasses and their violations before operations commence. We do not expect anyone to challenge the law enforcement officials that will come on these sites. The government is very serious about environmental protection. We are very serious about preserving the pine forest. We're very serious about restoring what has been lost. And so if you're doing it, we ask you to stop it. If you do not voluntarily stop it, then we intend to stop you.
Okay, couldn't be any clearer than that.
Definitely not.
What do you make of this, Shelly?
Michelle, over the past several weeks and perhaps months, we've been hearing a lot of what's been going on in the pine forest, the deforestation, persons occupying it illegally, and we had Lincoln Bain, going out there and they recording all these videos of what was really happening. But the thing is, the government organized a task force,
Mm-hmm.
and a team of them went out into the forest this morning. Early this morning, I got that notice like after 10, almost 11 o'clock last night.
Okay.
And a team of them went out into the forest this morning, led by defense and police forces, and we got immigration and representatives from the Department of Environmental Health, Forestry, and they went out there and they made an assessment of what was going on. They actually saw it firsthand,
Mm-hmm.
what was going on. And at the same time, Minister Monroe is addressing press briefing at the office of the Prime Minister, where we go every week, to get an update on what's going on. And it was good to know that they are responding to the cries of the Bahamian people. And I want to personally applaud Lincoln Bain for leading the charge and bringing an awareness to what was going on out there. Because, they've been making these announcements, persons have been completing, the videos have been circulating on social media, and now government is acting, reacting to what is going on. And that 14-day vacate order is going to be interesting to see because, there was also an unusual discovery out there this morning.
What was that?
They discovered a young mother living in a bus.
Okay.
And, that is of grave concern. And how many other persons are living out there with no utilities connected. And these are affecting.
Not only no utilities, no real sewage.
No,
so what that
well,
means is they doing what they got to
exactly.
do, how and where.
Exactly.
And that is impacting the water
That is
table.
impacting the water table,
Right.
correct. And it's time, we've been advocating, we've been asking every time we go to briefing, when is this going to be addressed? When is it going to be addressed? We present the videos. I remember sending videos to Vaughn Miller myself,
Mhm.
And I pulled him aside. We asked, when is it going to be addressed? And I'm happy to know today that this is now going to be addressed because, like you say, it's not just affecting the people in the Carmichael area, but it's affecting us as far east, far, west or south or wherever. And the thing is, he also mentioned that this is also happening in several of the family islands.
Oh, absolutely.
Abaco, because you remember what's amazing is that Hurricane Dorian destroyed much of the pine forest in Abaco.
Mhm.
And what's left, it's being impacted, it's being further destroyed.
I remember Kai Mills came on this very show
Mhm.
and pointed out these illegal immigrants living in a
Mhm.
bus
Right.
down
I saw
near the
that.
main road.
Yes, I saw
And
it.
it wasn't until he
Brought it to the
brought it to the
attention.
attention that all of a sudden
Mhm.
people spring into action because we are
Exactly.
very reactive.
Right.
We like to wait till things happen and then we respond.
Right. And it's good that we can have Bahamians, residents, policing our area, not actually getting physically involved, but actually being responsible for our community because, this is our country, and we saw what's happening with the flooding, with just the rainfall. Remember the last couple of days, all that rainfall,
Heck,
and
just-
people were
yeah.
bailing water out of their homes. The western and the eastern
Mhm.
area were all under. In some areas, the water was like 5 feet.
Yeah.
In Freeport,
Mhm.
and people have got to realize that these are the impact of what we do
Yeah.
in the environment.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to know that they're addressing this, and I'm praying and hoping that they're serious about it and enforce it.
We can see
14 days.
We can see.
Exactly. So and adding some sensitivity to the situation, he did acknowledge that we must be sensitive because there are persons out there who are living in the most adverse
Conditions,
condition.
right?
And we have to understand that not everybody, when Mom always say all your fingers are not even. There are persons who just cannot afford. We have a lot of people actually living on the street. That young lady who is living in that bus, I'm glad to know that Minister Monroe said there will be assistance made available, because you have to take into consideration her situation, why she's living in that bus, and there may be other persons like her. So that is another aspect to it. We're looking at the human part of it, the fact that yes, those people are out there illegally, but they may be out there for some reason that, they can't do any better.
Yeah, but you can't destroy
No.
what we have for everybody
Mhm.
because of your individual situation.
Well, it also has to do with the education as well, and the thing is, how much do we make the public aware of the importance of the well fields? Michelle, there are lots of areas here, and successive governments have failed to educate the people on the importance of some of these ministries, some of the things that they do. And now, ever since this environmental issue came about, we are more sensitized to what's going on, the impact of it. When the prime minister talk about climate change, and we see, or when we go home on the weekends and you can't get out of your area because you're flooded in, we are now becoming more aware.
Right.
And it's good. And there is a need for more education, because that young lady may not know that she's affecting the entire country water table, but she finds that a place where she can find an old bus where she can live. So, education is also going to be key in terms of making people aware of the importance of these resources.
Not only that, but we as a country need to begin to take homelessness seriously.
Yes,
We have
exactly.
far too many people who are, for all intents and purposes, homeless, and like that young lady doing what they got to do just to survive.
Right.
And we have to address homelessness more seriously.
Homelessness, excuse me, and mental illness. I always make notice. When we come to work every day. This is the Graham Thompson building, and we're at Shirley Street on Elizabeth. Everybody know the big building, but the thing is, there is a homeless man who sits at the gate. And he reminds me of that story in the Bible.
I passed him today coming up here.
He was there. And the thing is, you have the everybody passing in and out of the buildings and so forth. But how many notice him? And people like him, if you drive along Shirley Street coming up to work in
You're
the
seeing a lot more.
there are many of them along Shirley Street.
Yeah.
So why I'm saying is that we don't know these people's situation, why they're out there. But like you say, we have to address it. Because I recall when we did briefing several weeks or months ago, Minister Michael Dowell said there was a draft to be presented before cabinet to address mental illness in the Bahamas. I didn't hear anything in his contribution in the budget debate. Nothing. And it's a serious, because I remember even when youth in Parliament, that was the topic of discussion, mental illness.
Okay.
But it wasn't anything mentioned in the budget.
Well, speaking of the budget, obviously this was the budget week.
Yes, it was.
Some people praised the Davis administration, particularly when the prime minister introduced the budget. Everybody was like, oh, wow, this sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
And then a lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but there are some out there who were saying mixed reactions, that they were disappointed when the actual ministers presented, that they didn't hear
what they were
expecting to hear. They didn't hear plans, etc. The opposition in particular was quite critical, saying that the budget was not fiscally responsible.
No.
Well, the prime minister didn't take to that too well. So when he was,
I think I carried a statement last evening.
Well, we can play it right now. In essence, he said to them, considering your record, y'all need to set small. Here's that soundbite.
$3 billion. With little to show for it. Who spent $20 million on sidewalks during the pandemic when people were struggling to survive. The same people who poured $200 million of taxpayers' money into the Grand Lucayan and then failed to land a good deal for the hotel. Taking lectures from the authors of those big fiascos. That doesn't make too much sense to me. Similarly, how is it that the same crew who failed to close a single significant new investment during their entire term in office made no meaningful attempts to diversify our economy, somehow now imagine themselves experts on economic growth?
What are your thoughts on what the prime minister had to say in response to the criticism, Shelley?
It leaves me dumbfounded. When I couldn't respond, I found it difficult to respond to the way the speaker reacted in Parliament. It's just like, it's interesting, Michelle. We find that Parliament today is about reminding the other of what they didn't do. And sometimes I wonder how much comes out of it, because I'm not knocking what the prime minister said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, I'm looking at what the public is waiting or wanting to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good to reveal all of these findings in terms of what the now opposition didn't do when they were in government, and what the government is proposing to do, because these are things that are been laid out during the budget that are yet to materialize, and we're looking forward to happening over the next budgetary period.
Yeah.
And the question is, are they going to be able to fulfill all of these commitments?
Right.
And how much the budget is, over what, billion?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot being offered on the table, and it's a lot being levied against the opposition in terms of what they didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what could have been done,
Mm-hmm.
and what now the government is now saying they are doing. And a lot of those projects, if you look at, Michelle, because we were discussing it in the office, a lot of those projects that are on the table, for instance, the new cabinet building, we've got the port development, we've got some develops in Freeport. The opposition did not make some of the best decisions, but there were projects on the table that that were just left.
Mm.
And even I heard in the Minister Michael Davos presentation, he spoke about the massive infrastructure development taking place.
Which some of it was obviously
Yeah.
but that happens
It
under
happens
every
with successive government.
every single time.
So-
Because if you remember correctly,
Mhm.
with Bahama,
Exactly.
Menace actually said it wasn't real. It wasn't
Mhm.
the deal wasn't real. And who opened Bahama?
Mhm.
So he had nothing to do with
With the actual
exactly,
yeah.
but he was right there.
And the thing
You
is,
know.
if you follow governments, and if the FNM was in power yesterday, the PLP is in power today.
Mhm.
The FNM had initiated major infrastructure developments in the country, and they lost at the polls in September. But those work have to go on,
Mhm.
and that is what successive governments have to do. For instance, I passed the Elizabeth Estates Clinic, and they were working on that during the pandemic.
Right.
Because you remember they had the tents set up outside the
Mhm.
various clinics. The what is it? The Grove Clinic, I think it's Fleming Street Clinic, and
Mhm.
all of them.
Mhm.
South Beacon, they were doing those infrastructural repairs during the pandemic.
Right.
And even the hospital. Now, these are things that, yes, it's a part of the Davis administration's agenda, but it's a continuation of what had already started. So
Understood.
to say dismiss everything that the previous administration had done would be unfair to what contributions they would have made to the country.
I hear your point. Now, in his presentation, Minister Keith Bell actually pointed out that the previous administration went over
Board.
the national debt, increased the national debt by 25%. The most he said that happened in our 49-year history. Obviously, this is while he was making his contribution to the debate. So here is what he had to say with regard to that.
4 years, the former administration is responsible for 25% in our 49-year history as an independent nation. So, if you look at the figure at the bottom, that is $2.777 billion. That's 25% of our entire national debt. Now, the fact of the matter is, this is significant because this never happened in our 49-year history as an independent nation. The people have to fully understand this. You have to understand this because when the people elect us as a government, they elect us and we then becomes the trustees, the guardians of future generations to come. If we do not exercise a very high degree of due diligence, I'm using that, let's use it some more. If you don't exercise a high degree of due diligence, you're going to see some more. It's inside your budget. If you have a budget, you could go in there. The figures are in there as well. That's where I pull them from. But the fact is, if we don't exercise a high degree of due diligence and fiscal prudence, then we are binding future generations unborn.
Okay, now I can hear people arguing right now, Michelle, yes, they may have increased the budget by 25%, but no government ever faced a Dorian before. No government ever faced a pandemic before, so that is justifiable. What are your thoughts on that? Because I have my own personal thoughts.
I agree. There was a need to increase the budget, and we went an overflow. And a lot was happening, between the Dorian and the pandemic. And I hear every day the minister administration being criticized for the pandemic. And just we were passing downtown this morning, coming to work, and you saw the country open. It's like a total transformation from what we experienced during COVID-19, the initial part of the pandemic. And a lot of businesses and persons have suffered during that period. And to say that, the government, how much was national insurance over, covering an unemployment benefit that was not a part of the NIB scheme?
I don't remember the figure.
No, but it was I think it's 150 some million or so. But the thing is, all of this contributed to programs and initiatives that were not a part of these agencies.
Right.
For instance, that unemployment scheme, that should have only been a 13-week thing. You remember that when that was introduced?
Yes.
But that continued straight through, and I think some persons are still benefiting from it. So I don't know if it has officially come to an end, but these are some of the things that pushed the budget over in terms of the pandemic and Hurricane Dorian.
Well, that is true, but also true is that there was some unnecessary spending in the millions of dollars. I remember when they made the announcement about the $20 million, which included the sidewalks being repaired in the middle of a pandemic. So people starving, but you fixing the sidewalk for the hungry people to walk on. At a tune of $20 million. And I remember, what's his name? Who was responsible for BPL? What's his name? Desmond Bannister saying that there were other infrastructural developments that were included in that 20 million. It wasn't just for sidewalks.
Right.
But you know how we go in, we run in with a narrative. Oh, y'all spent 20 million on sidewalks. But the point was, they chose that time to spend $20 million on these, what many consider to be unnecessary development, infrastructural development, because who cares about walking on a sidewalk when your people starving? And not only that, many raised the question of follow the money. Who is the cement company that's making the money from these sidewalks? These are the kind of questions. No, listen, I ain't holding back, right? So there was a lot of unnecessary spending. So it wasn't just Dorian. It wasn't just the pandemic, but there was a lot of unnecessary spending.
Michelle, yes and no, you may think so, and I'm not going to say no. There were unnecessary spending. I spoke with Desmond Bannister myself concerning that, and his response was though they were providing employment for persons because a lot of persons were either furloughed or just lost their jobs. A lot of companies were closing at the time, and unemployment was up. And at the same time, it was a struggle because the government's approach to the pandemic was like, it was no written text. Let's not just stick a pin in the sidewalk thing. There was no written text in terms of how to manage that pandemic. It was like a learning experience every day. It's no excuse for the amount of money that was spent, but monies were being spent in areas that were not part of the initial budget to accommodate the Bahamian population during that pandemic. And a lot of people were losing their jobs, and those people were finding themselves on the food lines. And people were saying, oh, they were given $20 for
Vouchers, right.
vouchers and so forth.
Right.
And people were complaining about the mackerels and the sardine and the grits and so forth.
What was in the
Right,
substance, right?
and you found that there was a disparity in terms because people in certain it appears as if persons in certain areas were given different food packages.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. It is.
So you get what you got determined where you live?
It appears in some instances it was determined based on where you live.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it
Well,
was determined based on where you lived.
That's an interesting revelation. I see Adrian Ramsey is making a statement on Facebook. He says Bahamians were paid to repair the sidewalks and parks, the same Bahamians that people claimed were starving. Okay. I give you all both that. However, there were revelations that came forth in the House of Assembly this week
Mm-hmm.
that revealed, is that a call for the show? That revealed, I'm not even going to call it unnecessary spending. I'm going to call it lavishly unnecessary spending.
You're referring to the Belgium.
Yeah, I can take this call and then we can take that break because I got to take my time on that Belgium situation.
Don't take too much time because
no, I know you got to go. As a matter of fact, if you want to leave now, that's fine. But let's see what this caller says. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon. Especially called to say something. That's Shelly.
Yeah.
Shelly Lewis before she leave. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you too.
And to you, Miss Malcolm. Good afternoon. Miss Malcolm, I wanted to find out if Shelly, you have any information on. Sound like it was reported on international news that the governor in Florida is saying that they're not going to order any of those vaccines for the children under 5 if people want to get it on their own. And I wondering if this, as our country, if we to say something a few weeks or months ago, I wonder if I overheard or heard someone saying something that we supposed to order some. If we can follow suit.
Our children's vaccines are on the way.
They're here.
They're here already?
They're supposed to be. I know we had acquired some
$20,000.
Yeah,
20,000 doses. Yeah.
So you have the information why Governor that Sanchez or something like that, why he said that they're not going to order them?
Well, how you could access that and be in the bomb?
No,
I know Shelly do a lot of research and stuff. She's a journalist.
I will follow up for you, and I will definitely have something in the news this afternoon. But at this minute, I don't have any information.
Okay, I have a local request also, but on the same note, on the health issues, any information to educate us more on the monkeypox? Sound like they're saying it's a man-transfer disease.
Well,
is it something to do with sex or something? Women can't catch monkeypox?
Do it.
It's really intimate contact. It's you know.
Maybe Michelle can talk about it one of these time on the health Wednesday.
Yeah, but we got more important things to talk about on
Wednesday.
Okay. We had one important case who done gone. So why are we trying to pick that up in the box?
Okay, that's good if we can't. If that's good if we can't catch it here in the Bahamas and it can't happen.
I ain't saying we can't, but you know, we got more. We got high blood pressure. We got diabetes. We got
we got enough to talk about.
Exactly.
Shelly, what about the court reporters? You already said something about that. Sound like for years now, almost sound like over 10 or 15 years, they've been asking for this respect or what they supposed to be having, and I think they're supposed to be on strike. I don't know if you ever work in that area. What is the issue with that, and why you think these both governments pussyfoot around with this and don't deal with the issue and give the people what they need? I'll hang up and listen, y'all. Keep up the good work.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Well, you know, Michelle, I want to comment on that.
Because you're from a court reporter, right?
Yes. You know, that has been dragging for years.
Mm-hmm.
For years, they call stenographers, they work in the courts. And I remember many years ago, they were asking for better working conditions and, you know, for certain things to happen in the courts. And it's like they're not getting the attention, you know, and they're just not getting the attention. And now that he mentioned it, you know, they perhaps can keep agitating for it. But I don't know, it's just been ignored. And that's a group of persons who are very important to the court system, mind you, because they present all the information that comes out of those cases for the judges.
Yeah.
So why they're not getting the attention, it behooves me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been going on for many years. And before I go, I wanted to bring an awareness to a case that, you know, is really disturbing. And it seems as if it's endless. We had another case of rape for 10-year-old child.
When?
We can't. He was arraigned just day before yesterday.
Oh my God.
And it seems as if a lot of these cases are now coming before the courts, and I don't know what can be done in the community to protect. And we're going into the summer months when the kids will be
Out of school,
and they will be in the communities. So if the communities can be more on a lookout to protect these kids, because every time I see one of these stories or reports come across my desk, I get angry.
You and plenty of people.
Yeah, I get angry.
The question is, are we angry enough?
And another thing that Glennis Arna Martin mentioned this week, the thousands, and she stressed it, the thousands of students who did not return to the classroom when they did so in January, and they have been out of school since the pandemic,
right?
Which means that we're going to have a serious problem in this country. Serious problem in this country.
Yep.
But now, and she has indicated, would they a task force to ensure that these kids either get into BTBI or some program that they can gain the necessary skills, because they've already lost. Some of them would have already supposed to have graduated already. And they obviously don't have any intention of going back to school. So it's going to be a serious problem for the country to address.
A lot of people are going to be unemployable.
Okay.
All right, Shelly, listen, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we got a lot going on.
I'm sorry that I couldn't say
that's
more.
all right, because trust me. Got plenty to talk about today. Because we got to talk about this Brussels, Belgium situation, right? With this $1 million, right? What was spent during the pandemic, right? For an ambassador. And for the record, I ain't talking directly to her, because this ain't got nothing to do with her. We got a problem. We'll talk about it on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS on a TGIF open line show. We'll be back in a moment.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
All right. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this TGIF open line show. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and our WhatsApp line 824-9952. Now, a very big story broke this week as it relates to lavish spending of the taxpayers' money for accommodations for an ambassador to Belgium. It was first unveiled in the House of Assembly by the Honorable Keith Bell, who brought this to everyone's attention, much to the shock of all who heard what he had to say. So check this out.
While contributing to the 2022-2023 budget debate Tuesday evening, Labor and Immigration Minister Keith Bell blasted what he called wasteful spending by the Minister administration.
I am submitting, Madam Speaker, given the contracts that I have in my possession, that in many respects, some of the deficit is attributed not to genuine cases relating to COVID or the hurricane, but mismanagement, abuse by the former administration.
Bell provided a breakdown which divulged $12,000 was spent on a bed, $19,000 on a rug, and $14,000 on a mirror. But that's not all. Bell said $14,300 was spent on a table, $9,000 on a dining room table, more than $20,000 on a dining table chair, $9,000 on a cocktail table, $14,500 on a sofa, and over $5,000 on 2 lamps.
This was done at a time when behemoths losing their jobs had to pull their children out of university, lost their homes, had nothing to eat, was in the dark, no water, had to go to the pump, was arrested by the police while he was going to the pump, was convicted. Now we have to clean up all of the mess.
The Carmichael MP said the furniture was purchased under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. While the renovations were being done, the ambassador stayed at a hotel for $20,000 per month.
Why would the government need to purchase, and let me get it right, I have my glasses, a desert modern upholstered queen-size bed covered in Chambly damask white orchard print fabric at a cost of approximately $12,000.
There must be an investigation to determine where the systemic failures in the system so that we can prevent it from ever happening again in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's the choice for me, because we've been established in the UK for years. We've been in Geneva for years, and we recently opened an embassy in Brussels.
Okay, so for our radio audience, the last voice you heard in that clip was that of the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Darren Henfield. So he clearly did not know anything, according to him, about these extravagant spending. He said he was just as shocked when he heard about it as everyone else. So we got to break this down. We got to break this down because I received the document of the spending that apparently took place, 7 pages long, from Brussels. Okay, so you heard a little bit about it in that clip just now. But we're talking things like Mayfair scroll, mahogany, at a cost of 10,950 euro, which is even more in US dollars. You've got a Duke polished steel mirror for 13,675. That's different from the other mirror that was mentioned in that clip. And what I suspect Minister Bell forgot to say is that this was a mirror from the fairy tale story where you look in the mirror and say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Because this had to have these mirrors had to have some kind of special qualities to cause that. That rug, that was the magic rug, what could have transport the minister from Belgium to Bahamas, and she had to buy no. It had to have some kind of special qualities. Let me continue. Felix base table lamp polished in nickel and round percoli shade. I know how you pronounce that. 2,100. We heard about sofa for 14,000. I don't know if that's the same one. This was an otter oak finish, covered with fabric, laundered linen, washed, 14,565 pounds. Another 1/5 pedestal table, cream lacquer, 5,675 pounds. Barrett large knurled floor lamp in polished nickel with linen shade, 3,000 euros, not pounds, sorry, euros. He talked about the desert modern upholstered bed, the queen size bed. But there's another one. Oh, because the other one was 12,000. This one, because I think there were 3 bedrooms, is 8,737 euros, right? That's just page 1. There are 7 pages, y'all. 7 pages. And so I could go on for a whole other half hour talking about these purchases. But bottom line is you're talking $500,000 on furnishings alone. $500,000 as in $500,000 on furnishings alone. And listen, I get it. This is an ambassador. You want them to be comfortable. So you can't expect her to shop at IKEA. You can't expect them to buy the things from IKEA. I get that. But I did my research and I went online and I went to a website that is for expatriates who live in Belgium. And one of the links was where you can buy furniture from, and they gave you the different quality, so from IKEA all the way to where price is not an option. So I click on the where price is not an option, and I still ain't come across nothing close to these prices. So I suspect this is a situation where you get specialized things. Like, I walk into, and I'm not saying that this was the case here, but I'm just, speaking. So I walk into an interior designer's place, a very exclusive interior designer's place, and I say, money's no option, just I want the best of everything. And so they go and they find specialty. That's all I could say, because I searched and I couldn't find any prices, even on the site where it says money is not an option, that came close to these. Bottom line is it costs the taxpayers $500,000 just for the furnishings. That does not include the $500,000 that were spent on her hotel accommodations where she lived while the residence was being renovated, I guess, found, renovated, whatever, because I'm not sure at what point she moved to Belgium while waiting for, but it was long enough for her to rack up a $500,000 bill at a cost of $20,000 per month. So you do the math. And that'll tell you how long she lived in a hotel on the taxpayers' money. Now, what I don't understand is, if the residence is not ready, I understand she had to present her credentials. Why not fly there, present the credentials, come back home until, because we do have non-resident ambassadors in other countries, come back home, work from the Bahamas until your residence is ready, and then move there when it's ready. But no, we find $500,000 to spend to keep this woman in a hotel at the tune of $20,000 per month. Now, for an ambassador, you may say, well, that's not so bad. That's an ambassador. Well, that may be true. But the bottom line is this. This all took place during the pandemic when the rest of us was locked down and some people was standing on a line outside in the hot sun waiting on a $20 voucher. Keith Bell talked about it in his contribution. This is when Bahamians were suffering under the rule of a dictator, also known as the competent authority. Now, what I find interesting is where the money was sent from, considering the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, is saying, I know nothing about this. Somebody sent me something. I haven't been able to verify the source of this information, so I cannot say that if it is true or not. But according to this alleged report that was sent to me, an unfolding investigation by the editorial team of a major newspaper into the funding of the Bahamas embassy and mission to the European Union in the Kingdom of Belgium can confirm that the embassy seemingly benefited from duplicated funding assigned through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Office of the Prime Minister. Now, maybe somebody who knows the workings of government can tell me if, in fact, that is true, whether or not that is standard practice. I've never heard of anything such as that, but maybe I just am not aware. It says, while the embassy's opening costs were channeled through the Foreign Affairs Ministry, hold on, now there's something else. An additional sum of, wait, hold on. 1.5 million was assigned to the embassy in 2019-2020 budget, referred to the item under the Office of the Prime Minister as operational expenses. And this is all allegedly because I haven't been able to verify. Given the comments by the Minister of Foreign Affairs noting that the permanent secretary is the accountable officer for spending by ministries, focus is now shifting to the permanent secretary at the time at the Office of the Prime Minister. So, the former competent authority issued a statement when this was all revealed, in essence, trying to justify this spending. I could just play this and let y'all hear what he had to say. It's a little lengthy, but y'all need to hear this in its entirety, and then we're gonna break this down. Check out what the former Prime Minister had to say with regard to these expenditures.
When a new embassy has been established, ambassador goes there, she must stay in the hotel. I see that they're raising hell about the $20,000 a month.
At your desk, please, because I'm not getting audio on this clip, on this video clip. And so I think you may need to open something. So I'm not sure where he went. In the meantime, I will read a couple of your comments on Facebook, and then we'll try to get that clip going again. If anybody out there is listening to me, please find Jason and tell him I need him at the controls. So Kevin says, I wouldn't talk about them set on Charles W. Saunders Highway. It's the reason why they didn't put sidewalks there. Joggers can't jog them. They're not level to jog on. That's why they never put, okay, I can understand that. All right. My producer is back at the controls. Let's try this again. We're going to now hear from the former competent authority.
When a new embassy has been established, ambassador goes there, she must stay in the hotel. I see that they're raising hell about the $20,000 a month. That's $600 odd per day. A hotel would have been utilized to accommodate the ambassador while a resident was being looked for. That would have been done by various agencies, real estate agencies. They would look for residents for ambassador. The residents must meet certain requirements, etc., security measures, etc., after which a resident is selected. Then, in terms of furnishing, renovation, remodeling, etc., that goes through a process, bidding, invoices, etc., and they must be approved at particular level, and there are protocols and policies that must be followed. And those protocols and policies would have to be followed. That's why they're budgetary items. We can't go outside of that. So the Minister of Labor is being very disingenuous. But what the Bahamian people have to realize, when that ambassador first traveled to Brussels, yes, we accommodated her in the hotel. It was very difficult. It takes a long time in Brussels to get an appointment to see the king, at which point you would present your credentials. What the Bahamian populace did not know, while the ambassador stayed at that particular hotel, the night before she was to present her credentials to the king, that hotel caught a fire. The ambassador and many of the guests within that hotel had to evacuate or run out of the hotel and stayed on the verge, the side of the road, while her clothing and all her items were in the hotel, which was ablaze, waiting for the emergency team to put the hotel fire out. Now you can imagine, you're in a foreign land, the hotel that you stayed in, you had to run out, leave all of your materials there, stay on the verge, being taken some distance away. You don't know whether all of your clothing and other items would be destroyed. You don't know where you're staying next. You are far away from your motherland, that is Newport, Bahamas. And you have an appointment with the king at 9 o'clock, which is very important for your country to present its credentials so that we can officially commence our embassy. She adhered, because of her commitment and her love for the Bahamas, she adhered to that appointment. She met the king at 9 o'clock and presented her credentials. Now remember, she had nowhere to stay. The hotel got another hotel to accommodate them until further, the matter could be resolved. Then, 2 days later, you see in the press here in New Providence and social media, they were complaining about how the ambassador was dressed to meet the king, not knowing that that ambassador was in a hotel that caught a fire, that she had to run out, be exposed to the elements, sit on the sidewalk while the hotel is being put out by the fire engine, etc. Not knowing that this poor child, her clothing and everything was smoke damaged, but to meet her commitment and her love for the Bahamas, she still found something to present.
Prime Minister.
But no, there are protocols and there are policies that has to be followed, and that's why we have budgets. And therefore the minister is being very, very disingenuous. Thank you very much.
Do you think the amount, the $500,000, was too much?
Everything,
circumstances,
what I can say is from my own personal experience, Brussels is very expensive. Let me give you an example. As Prime Minister of the Bahamas, I traveled to Brussels. I had my credit card. They do not take cash. Credit card, they do not take swipe. I didn't know that. I went to purchase something. Do you know I had to borrow money from staff members to pay I and government bill as Prime Minister? They don't give me a credit card. No, I utilize my own credit card on many occasions while traveling for the Bahamas, spend my money, present the invoice back here to government. On many occasions, I don't even know whether I'm paid or not. We need to advance.
Did
we need to advance.
Did Ambassador O'Brien have to spend her own money in that case?
Yes. What happened is, Brussels is extremely expensive. Extremely. And while I was there, I had to borrow money and get my staff members to pay the bill of the Prime Minister of the Bahamas because Brussels did not take swipe card, and that's all the card I had. The government did not provide me the card. So you can imagine, your secretary is with you, and your secretary is paying the bill for the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We have to advance. We have to advance. And the ambassador were doing similar things under similar circumstances. And we're complaining when individuals fall within the budgetary item. That's why we're here today. Because we discuss budgets. We discuss expenditures. How much is going to be spent and what we estimate going to be the revenue. So all I would say is the minister's being very disingenuous because he knows ambassadors don't write no checks. He knows that there are policies and there are protocols established by the government, established by ministry that we must follow. Thank you very much.
For my radio audience, I'm here. I just taken a moment. And call, I come to you right now. Before I go to the call, let me just read this definition of gaslighting, which is a classic sign of a narcissist. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse and manipulation. Gaslighting happens when an abuser or bully makes you question your beliefs and perception of reality. Now, I can break down for y'all in a minute why that was classic gaslighting. But let's take this caller since the caller called. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Good.
I suppose Dr. Minister was calling us idiots, eh?
Trust me, I can get into that in a minute. I just waiting for you to say what you got to say, so I got to get to what I got to say.
Michelle, you know, first of all, if our official representative was in such a dire straits, suffering such a, all of her belongings destroyed in the fire.
The poor child.
Yeah, the poor child. First of all, why did the office of the Prime Minister not make sure that was reported on the news so the public could know about it?
That's a good question.
Okay, that's one. Number two, Dr. Minnis can bullskate, I think is the word, all he wants. There is no reason for an $8,000 or $18,000 bed in the ambassador's residence, or $9,000 lamp, or $5,000 side chair, whatever those figures are you were calling a while ago.
$20,000 on chairs alone just for the dining table.
And Michelle, I mean, he said it 3 times and he got it wrong. Disingenuous.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe he didn't get it wrong because he know that ain't no real way because he couldn't tell.
I mean, he couldn't even get the disingenuous right.
Yeah.
That only goes to show you how ill-equipped and ill-prepared Dr. Minnis truly was to have been Prime Minister of this country. I mean, what is this established protocol in respect to monies being budgeted to be spent, Michelle? Is it not that once these invoices are secured, they're supposed to be sent to the PS for the PS to sign off on, or sent up to the minister for the minister and the PS to review and finalize? That's
what I thought it was.
So how come the minister didn't know?
Listen.
If that's the protocol.
Listen. Anyhow, finish what you got to say.
Michelle, you know when they're making these legislation, the minister has to decide. The minister has to sign. The minister has to decide everything. The minister.
And this former minister himself is saying, "Okay, we need to investigate this."
Well,
and the current leader of the Free National Movement is saying there's no justifying this. This was
okay then. So
the former competent authority is the only one.
Yeah, who trying to make you and me look like we stupid?
Because that's what we call gaslighting. But we can talk about that. We can talk about that.
Oh, look, I truly wish Dr. Minnis had never been Prime Minister of this country.
You better take a number.
Because every time he opens his mouth, he makes me cringe.
He reminds me.
I don't know if any of you followed the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, but he reminds me very much of Amber Heard, and I can break that down in a minute too. But go ahead, JD. We got another caller, so go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll make it quick because I got to dash myself in any event. But Michelle, at the end of the day, with the $20 million, for example, that was spent on the sidewalks, if they were so concerned about employing people, we didn't have to, or to keep food in people's belly, we didn't have to spend however many millions on the blocks. Just simply give the people the money, pay off the people's mortgages. Well, what was so difficult about paying off the mortgages of the people whose homes were at risk because they lost their jobs?
No, they ain't gonna do that.
So, Michelle, I can let you go because if I stay on the phone, I can get angry. And upset,
I want to take this other call,
yeah,
and then,
so you do that.
and then I can take a break, and then I can tell you all what I really think about this.
All right, dear.
All right, thanks for calling. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Well, good afternoon, Michelle.
Hey, Graham, what you saying?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you what I really think
Well, I can let you all know what I think.
because there are repercussions for telling people what you really think. But let me give you a simple suggestion. Do the math on how much solar could have been installed on people's homes and businesses along the route where the sidewalks exist. So a sidewalk, it really can't help you right now. But having no light bill or very little light bill, when this light bill is about to go crazy because we use fuel to power the motor to make the light. See, we're watching gas prices, but we ain't watching the light bill. So, would it not have been better to put solar on every rooftop in the country? And you didn't need to spend the $20 million. If you understood how to negotiate when you went to France, Scotland, and all over the world, you would have negotiated carbon credits and fines. And in exchange for using our sun in the winter, for making electricity in the Bahamas when you have none in those northern countries, you would have got your little credit. But that's going too deep, I guess. So let's just say, why we didn't put the $20 million in solar instead of sidewalks? I can leave it at that. I'll tell you what I think one day, but then I'll have to leave the country like my good friend, Miss Love. Have a good one.
Thanks for calling. Is that another call for the show? Okay, let's take this quick break. Let's take a quick break because I got to get this off my chest. Y'all don't know me by now, know I ain't a pudge. I got to get this off my chest. So we can be back after these words from our sponsors.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blasted loud.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this TGIF Open Line Show. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271 or 3260272, and the WhatsApp line is 824-99524 for messages only. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Lady Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
I want you to stay calm, my dear. Okay?
I am very calm.
I want you to stay calm.
I am calm.
I have a few questions.
Y'all know I just have passion, but I'm calm.
I have 1 or 2 questions that I need to ask you. So you can stay just like that. First of all, right? What Lady Bird's fairy tale book documents get that stuff from?
Y'all ain't giving me a chance to talk, man.
No, I can't tell you how to run your show, right?
Go ahead.
I'm telling you this now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you want to say, Lady Malcolm, you better save that for the last half hour and don't take no call for 10 years one get me on this one. This is a hot one.
I know this is a hot one. I know. And I can take the calls to stay on.
Listen, first of all, I want to know where he get a live from. Because minutes no stomach. But second of all, did he say what official capacity he went to Brussels on? As a Bahamian delegation, small delegation?
I don't know.
He never said that. Okay? Now, my next question, if Lady Malcolm is working for ambassador for the Bahamas, right? And she goes off on behalf of the Bahamas, wherever she going, and something untoward or positive or negative happens, don't you think the Bahamian people have a right to know the name of the ambassador? If Miss Malcolm did something wrong, all right.
The name is not a secret.
Well, I can't get it. I couldn't get it from them other people. They run out.
No, her name is not a secret. Miss O'Brien, I think Marie is the first name.
Okay. Her name is no secret.
No.
Last of all, I can fire up on right now and book up on it. I have a daughter in Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
Works in an official capacity.
Okay.
That's why I asked you the first question, what capacity he went there on.
You need to ask your daughter.
I asked her. That's why she didn't tell me. But I can't say what she tell me.
But you need to tell me, because I know.
Well,
you leave that right there. Leave that right there.
Yeah, you understand where I'm trying to go.
Yeah, you.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Thank you, darling. I caught.
Thanks for calling. All right. Let's break this down. Ivan Inga talk about the alleged or apparent irregularities, why the minister knew nothing about it, why allegedly this came from two different. I ain't going there. I ain't going there. I just want to talk about the statement, the defense that the former competent authority gave in regard to this $1 million spend during a pandemic. First of all, that whole story about the fire and she had to sit out on the side of the road, and yet she was so dedicated to her love for her country that she still showed up at the king's residence at 9 o'clock in the morning the following day, and Bahamians was criticizing what she wear, and they didn't know what she'd been through the night before. What that got to do with the price of tea in China? No. Better question. What that got to do with the price of rug in Belgium? You beating all around the mulberry bush to tell us a story that ain't got nothing to do with the matter at hand. Classic gas lighting. Because you're trying to convince us that we crazy for questioning a $500,000 spent on furnishings and another $500,000 spent on hotel accommodations. We crazy. So you can take your time and you can beat all around this mulberry bush and tell us this sad story about the poor child who the hotel was on fire the night before, and she still show up to the bravo, because that's what you're getting paid for. That's called being an ambassador. But what that got to do with the price of mirror in Belgium? Somebody make it make sense. And then this other part of the story, what he running on with about how things are so expensive. Let me break something down, because you know, Sweet Girl is do her research, right? So I go onto this website called Numbeo, Numbeo, where you can compare the standard of living or cost of living between countries. So I type in cost of living comparison between Nassau, Bahamas, and Brussels. Check this out. You would need around $4,243.82 in Brussels to maintain the same standard of life that you can have with $6,000 in Nassau, assuming you rent in both cities. This calculation uses our cost of living plus rent index to compare cost of living. This assumes net earnings after income tax. Now, check this out. Consumer prices in Brussels are 29.71% lower than in Nassau without rent. Consumer prices, including rent in Brussels, are 29.27% lower than in Nassau. Rent prices in Brussels are 28.14% lower than in Nassau. Restaurant prices in Brussels are 33.0% lower than in Nassau. Grocery prices in Brussels are 33.5% lower than in Nassau. This is a big one. Local purchasing power in Brussels. In other words, how far your dollar goes or how far your euro goes, whatever. Local purchasing power in Brussels is 103.82% higher than in Nassau. But this man can get up here and say things are very expensive in Brussels. Well, good God from heaven, what are they in Nassau? Please make this make sense. Once again, classic gaslighting, because he trying to make us feel like we stupid for questioning what blind Blake could see is a ridiculous amount of money to be spending on any residence for any ambassador. And again, I ain't got nothing to do with that woman. Because as he rightfully said, somebody had to approve that. And I really do hope an investigation takes place so we can find out who did approve it, because the Minister of Foreign Affairs didn't know nothing about it, according to him. So while you dancing around this mulberry bush talking about the poor child and the fire, what that got to do with the price of lamp in Belgium? I need an explanation, because this ain't making no sense. And then finally, he says, when trying to say why they had to spend so much money on these things, he tries to deflect once again and tell us this story about how he, as prime minister, had to be borrowing money from his secretary because he didn't know that they didn't use swipe card. And so he had to borrow money from his staff to pay the government bills. And he believed the ambassador had to face this as well. And we need systems in place. This is from the man who was not only former prime minister, but the competent authority who was more than able to make a decision to put these things in place, what he now is saying we need to put in place. Because don't tell me, well, it had to go through cabinet, because plenty of decisions he making had to go through cabinet, apparently. So if you were so concerned about that, you could have fixed that. But I asked the question again, what that got to do with the price of bed in Belgium? You running all around the mulberry bush with all these side story, what ain't got nothing to do with the matter at hand. So who you think you swinging? You really have such little regard for our intelligence that you think you could come here and run all kind of cycle around, don't address the real issue, and we supposed to just take that and say, thank you? Minister, not today. Not today. Not today. What all them side story got to do with the price of side lamp or side table in Belgium? What help me understand what you're trying to say. And if things expensive in Belgium, what they is here? And yet you trying to justify spending over $1 million while the very people who you're supposed to be serving, I heard stories of elderly women falling out in the hot sun, standing on line, waiting for assistance. You locking people down. Some people ain't know where the next meal coming from. You making these last minute decisions to close down. We closing tomorrow, closing the night. Do what you got to do. Making these ridiculous decisions, putting hardship on people. And don't tell me it was because of science, because during election, science went out the window. COVID went on vacation during election because you decide to call an election in the midst of a COVID outbreak. So don't tell me all that foolishness you do was competent authority, was for science, because that's a lie. Not today, Menace. Not today. And let me tell you all why I say he remind me of Amber Heard. I don't know, for those of you who were following the case at all. That was like a train wreck. You couldn't stop watching it even though you know it's bad. But Amber Heard, in my opinion, is a classic narcissist. I'm not saying Johnny Depp was perfect in their relationship. Clearly, they had issues, but she was clearly the aggressor, and based on the evidence that was presented. And not only that, but she's a bald-faced liar and was caught in several lies during that trial. And I'm going to bring this back to Menace in a minute. So during the trial, they played a video. Johnny Depp's lawyers played a video of her making her rounds on television saying that all $7 million that she received during her divorce settlement were donated to charity. There's nothing left. She actually said that. They played the video with her saying that, coming out of her own mouth. So Johnny Depp lawyer asked her, Ms. Heard, as of today, have you paid the $7 million that you said was paid to charity? I pledged it. Ms. Heard, my question to you is, have you, as of today, paid the $7 million that you said was paid to charity? I pledged it. And I use the words pledge and paid synonymously. Ms. Heard, I do not. My question to you today, have you, as of today, paid the $7 million that you said was paid to charity? I haven't had an opportunity to pay it as yet, but that's a part of the pledge process. Ms. Heard, Ms. Heard, Ms. Heard. It was actually comical to watch. Then she says, I haven't paid it as yet because I was sued by my husband. Ms. Heard, there was 18 months or 13 months between the time that you said that you paid these charities and the time that your husband decided to sue you. Could you not have paid the charities in between them 18 months or 13 months or whatever it was. I haven't had an opportunity to pay this yet because I was sued. And now this crazy woman is going around media blaming the jury for not believing her. She did an interview on NBC with Savannah Guthrie, and Savannah Guthrie said, quite frankly, they thought you were lying. Your credibility was shot. Well, she acted like she don't know why they had a hard time believing her. So Savannah Guthrie brings up the situation with her lying about paying $7 million to charity, which she ain't never paid. Amber Heard is going to say to Miss Guthrie, I shouldn't have to pay that money to be believed. I say, well, blow me down. You shouldn't have to tell the truth to be believed? The whole reason you were not believed is because they catch you lying. But the typical narcissist is going to gaslight you to try to make you believe that something wrong with you for not believing them. Now I come back to the competent authority former, better known as former Prime Minister, the most honorable, Hubert Minnis. And I ask the question again. What does a $12,000 bed, a $14,000 mirror, and I got 7 pages, y'all. I ain't got time to go through all of them. 7 pages of expenses for this fantastical residence at the tune of $500,000, $500,000, just in case you ain't know $500,000 what that is. What all your round the Mulberry Bush stories got to do with that $500,000? Because I don't understand the point. You telling them stories. So you want us to feel sorry for her, the poor child, because the hotel had fire at night and she still went and did her job? The poor child. So is this your way of rewarding the poor child? Ah, Lord, the poor child, you know, there was a fire and her clothes may have been damaged from the smoke. And so she just had to go to the residence the next morning and she had to wear whatever she had on hand to wear. I tell you what, poor child, let's reward you with a $500,000 spend for your residence and another $500,000 for you to live soft in another hotel. Make it make sense. Word to Hubert Minnis, we're not idiots. And I quite frankly, I'm insulted that you would come with that foolishness and expect me to swallow it. I know about the rest of them out there. Because you know, you got some people who just only see color. And no matter what you do, no matter what, if their party do it, it's all good. I ain't one of them. Stop insulting my intelligence. Because you got to think we stupid for you to come with all these round the Mulberry Bush story and you still can't justify to me how you could spend $1 million while your people suffering. Let's go to the phone lines. Call welcome to GPS.
Lady Malcolm, sorry. Listen, any competent authority or prime minister that stands up in the House of Parliament where the world is listening to him or her and says, Brent Semina didn't know nothing about this deal with the town center mall, and a week later Brent Semina come back and say he lied, he should have been fired right then and is not to ever be trusted again. But what I want to do for you, 1 second, my dear, I'm of a Christian nature, and I have a 15-second clip I would like to sing for your listening audience. 15 seconds.
I hope you could sing.
Huh?
I hope you could sing.
I can try.
Don't make no joyful noise around here. You better could sing.
I can cut it down to 10 seconds then. Okay, one. Listen, darling.
All right.
There's a sweet heart spirit in this place, and I know she is the sweetheart of the Lord. Thanks for taking my call, darling.
You need to go repent. That was very wicked. You almost as bad as the Speaker of the House. when Minister Bell said how much the bed cost, a $12,000 bed, I think it was the voice of the Speaker of the House. It sounded like her. She said, "Did you say it was for a bed?" He said, "I can table the documents, Madam Speaker." She says, "Well, what ministry that bed is for?" I said, "This woman Dropsy, eh? Our Speaker Dropsy, you know." But let me leave that because I want to talk me. So I can tread lightly when it comes to all. Ken says, I think that was gaslighting menace the G. He thinks we are, I ain't gonna say the word, what he say he think we are. Yeah, he think we stupid. He think we stupid. And I'm tired of being insulted. Ruggers say he's so worried about this one woman, but he is the same one who said the government is not responsible for building homes for Bahamians after Dorian. They can't be responsible because they're spending $1 million on anyhow. Man say the poor child. Poor child. Let me go spend this $1 million to make you feel better here. Poor child. Menace, if you don't go sit down with your stupidness, ain't nobody on your run. Walt says that's nothing. Ask them what they spent in their office and homes. Child, listen, we need, the people from the director of org is saying that we need an independent body to start investigating these things so it's not seen as political. I agree with them 1,000%. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm.
Hi.
I am so offended and outrightly sick of the lies and corruption we experience in this country.
Listen.
When are they going to stop? Now tell me something. Did that lady stay in that hotel for 2 years and 1 month?
Well, do the calculation. It was $20,000 a month. So let's see.
Which would equate to 2 years and 1 month. So did she spend 25 months in the hotel?
If that's what it works out
to rack up $500,000?
25 months. 25 months.
This can't be right, man. This just can't be right. These people have to come and give us back our money. I don't care about the revelation as much as I care of the restoration. They need to give us back every penny of our money, man.
Somebody need to go to jail. Because quite frankly, it ain't gonna stop until one of them actually go to jail. It is ridiculous, the amount of corruption. And this from the very man who going to tell the world how corrupt we are.
Jesus. Thank you, Miss Malcolm. I just had to say that. Oh my God. I gotta stop listening to these things because I can't take it. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. I mean, you really can't make this up. This the man who going to tell the world how corrupt the Bahamas is. And now right here on, you're talking about the poor child. Human Menace, if you don't go take several seats. Princess says the minister did not know about the spending because as the competent authority, Dr. Menace made all the decisions and did not have to consult with anyone. Well, okay. Wall says as long as they are in office, the people will pick up their tab and they will really have to spend their own money. My God, my God, my God, great God from Zion. Unbelievable. I can't believe that man come there and talk all that foolishness and then walk off with his chest stick out like he do something. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, so what that got to do with the matter at hand? But, like Amber Heard say, I shouldn't have to, I paraphrase, and I shouldn't have to tell the truth to be believed. You should just believe me because it come out of my mouth. Yeah. Narcissistic much? Graham Weatherford says, we're not crazy, but we do have a D average, Graham. That's a good point. You got a point. Oh my God. I tell you, you just cannot make this up. You cannot. Graham says, we the richest country in the hemisphere. What you saying supports what I have said. Honestly, man, we gotta stop, man. We gotta stop. Wall says, classism, elite spending versus poor spending. My God, the boy get arrested for going to the pump to get water for your family. Hauled before the courts for going to get water because the competent authority say you ain't supposed to come out your house. But yet, the poor child in Belgium could be spending money like it's nothing. And again, I ain't blaming her because somebody had to approve that. Is that a caller for the show? Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good day, Michelle. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Yeah. Michelle, yeah, I'm okay. Michelle, did you listen to the budget speech yesterday?
I was not able to.
Okay. But you know what's humorous to me, just listening? When somebody on the F&M side got up and said, well, they ain't seen nothing in the budget for road traffic, the new road traffic building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the PLP responded, but in my mind was like, I said, these people are serious, eh? They could take the road traffic building, break it down, donate it for $1 to UB, while I see that the Ministry of Works building has been renovated. All those buildings were built at the same time, the BDC building, right? Mm-hmm. And the Ministry of Works building is pristine, new, right? And the structure is firm. Why did they break that building down? And they asking when they ask where they don't see nothing in the budget for that building, they need to ask Jeff Lloyd to build that building back. You see? Because they mean like how could one man say he could give away something to a different institution of government for $1, but he ain't put nothing in place to put nothing there, you know?
Boy, I can't tell you. Maybe it's just above our pay grade. Maybe they have another way of calculating things. And I was never no math whiz. Now, math was never my strong subject in school.
Yeah.
Now you give me English literature, English language. I ace in that.
I know that. Hey, Michelle, a while ago when I hear you, when you get real and keep it real, like how you is, right? I say, but you'll be a good wife for somebody, a real man who don't lie and thing, because if some man ever lied, you got property can't come that way with you. You don't tolerate foolishness. Michelle.
Oh my goodness.
I feel you, boy. I feel you. I say, boy. And if you want me to sometimes, you got principles. And if more women in Bahamas would feel like you, whatever, want me to sometimes, to speak the mind and speak freely and let truth be reigned without fear. All right? And that's where we all are supposed to be in life. And when you could meet or be with people like the say of well, in truth, that's what the world is designed or that's the way we're supposed to design to be.
If more people would tell the truth, we would have such a better.
I beg your pardon?
I said if more people would just be,
Yeah, man. You know what? Speak truth, because lies will destroy everything.
Yeah.
I don't care how much you love you about somebody. One lie destroys it.
Yeah.
Business in every aspect of our lives. Okay. But Michelle, you know what's another humorous thing, right? Listening to the house. One more thing I'll hit on too, right? Mm-hmm. Listening to the house, all of a sudden, right? I ain't tell you no lie. I listened to about 5 hours of the house yesterday, right? And you know what? Just listening on the radio while I was doing my work, right? And it was more Michael Trinidad than anybody else. Mm. I admire just listening. I thought he was brave because you know what? It's like there's so much objectivity and talking about candies and all this BS, right?
Right.
Because you know what? Michael Trinidad, he's a poet, right? And he write a good script, and he can speak well, okay? Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is, right, what we have today in place in this country, I even even vote, right? But you know what? What we have in place today in this country, and all Bahamians when they right mind, they better wake up because guess what? Right now today, what our savior right now is Philip Brave Davis, okay? Because guess what? That man come inside there, and want me to do something?
Listen. Put your trust in God, yeah, and I
understand that. What I'm saying to you is, right? Understand where we come from. Understand where we are, okay? Mm-hmm. I think it is God. What I'm saying is, Savior as in, well, he's going to put this country in a better position.
I understand.
Okay, good. That's where I'm coming from, okay?
Yeah.
But my irony was with Pentag, right? Because he didn't have that kind of voice when Menace was doing. He was talking absolute nonsense, and he never got up 1 minute because he's an intelligent man. Okay, but you know what? Because of colors, they can't speak their mind like you. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why probably you can't even get in House Assembly. Me, I can't even get close to that because when you hold in principle, they don't want you. Understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I encourage you, and you continue to be what you are, and I know you're still beautiful and everything. You put on your couple pounds and everything, but that's no use.
Boy, look here, just talking a couple pounds, I'm back down to the size I was in my 20s. So catch yourself. I'm a size 6.
Hold on, Michelle.
Put down your pipe and smoke it.
Michelle.
Yes.
But when you was that age, right? I saw you when you walk up the steps there by Max Sweeney, them and thing when you go by Cola, them and thing. When we the practice, I have a little band practice. But Michelle, you know, I did ask you, right?
What?
Were you with the Miss Bama's committee like in 79, 80?
No, I was never part of that old Miss Bama's.
Okay, you joined late.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much later.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, you keep strong and keep up the good work. And I know you right now you have to place the station where you're at now. You can speak more freely because the other place. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would like to ask you also. I mean, people never really ask, you know. But what's going on? Because look, you can't call that station and ask nothing about nobody. And when you're talking about narcissism, it is in management. Because there ain't no one in their right mind you could take it 3 hours, like 86 hours a day, 3 hours in the night, 3 hours in the morning. And you was the manager, and then the good show only be 1 hour. Give me a break.
I have no comment.
I know, but you enjoy, Michelle.
Thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Listen, we gotta take a break. I think I've said enough on that. If somebody else wants to call and say anything else, you're welcome to do so. The telephone number is 3260271. 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. And of course, we do have a WhatsApp line where you can send us a message if you wish. And that number is 824-9952. Now, that's for messages only, 824-9952. So definitely join in on the conversation because guess what, y'all? Y'all are my co-hosts because Shelly hired me. Shelly only give me half hour today. But I understand. She got her own work to do. So now I'm relying on y'all to help carry the show. So make sure you're part of it, eh? We're going to take this quick break, and then we'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. Listen, y'all, if y'all are in need of rims, tints, and tires, like the little girl would say, definitely go and visit the folks over at Sunshine Auto on Abundant Life Road. Let Sunny know that Michelle Malcolm sent you. They have some really, really great merchandise if you want to, make your car look good. And of course, one of my favorites is the Tiki Bikini Hut out there in Junkanoo Beach. Byron Austin Coley and his team will make you feel right at home. The food is amazing, great family-friendly atmosphere right on the beach. Go and check them out. All right, we have a caller on the line. Let's go straight to the phones. Caller, welcome to GPS. Caller, you there? Hello? Going once? Going twice? All right, is that another call on the other line? Okay, the numbers to call, 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272, and the WhatsApp line is 824-9952, 824-9952. I'm assuming that is a caller for the show. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Ms. Malcolm, how you doing this evening?
I am good. How are you?
Great. I'm great. That's a issue I wanted the public to know about in Pastel Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have you can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I don't know if they have like there are ladies or like what they call it, like the lady like ladies who's help out ladies or something. But there's a lady in Pastel Gardens or something right now. She is outside in her yard, and what will happen? This has happened about 2 months now. Hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
And I saw a mortgage corporation and the police officers was there, and they put all the ladies' stuff in the front of the yard, even the flour, the cornflakes, all the fridge, all the. I talk about, and it rained for like, how much rain we had for the last couple of days, right, Ms. Malcolm?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And everything, and the lady is I just passed her right now. She's in the yard right now, and she's look like she is just out of it.
Wow. Somebody.
And I don't know if somebody look at it when they put a portable bathroom in the yard for her.
Mm-hmm.
But that's very inhumane right now in the Bahamas, Miss Malcolm.
So you're see, I don't know what the situation is. I don't know if she was paying a mortgage or if there's some other. I really don't know. The bottom line is, so we should try to seek to get her help. So
right. That's what I'm saying.
I would say call social services, because I don't even know where Pastel Gardens is. Call social services.
All the way in the back on down in the back of Fayette Avenue area.
Okay, but why don't you give social services a call? Give them directions and see if somebody can come out and assist her. I'm sure they would be willing to assist. A lot of people going through.
Right now, she's outside right now, and she hangs her clothes on the fence using a portable bathroom.
Wow.
All the flour, all the cornflakes, even the Capri Sun juice the people put outside the yard. And it's not good. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Boy, I tell you it.
Yeah. Again, I don't know the situation. I don't know. So without details, I don't want to comment. But I really would encourage you.
That's what someone could come out and go and assist a woman in Pastor.
Could you call social services, please, and give them directions? I don't, but I'm sure if you I don't. I don't have it.
There you go. I can try to find it.
Yeah, just if you have access online, just Google Bahamas Social Services Department or something like that, and it'll come up. And Yeah,
I can drive,
call them and give them directions.
If Bacchus Roll is listening, I want to try go around there and assist that woman, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Bacchus Roll is listening,
Mhm.
then, yeah, man. Somebody got to go around and assist that woman because that woman getting crazy.
Again, please, sir, I'm asking you to call social services, give them
Okay, ma'am.
directions so somebody can offer her some help, okay?
Right. Okay, thanks so much.
Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Okay.
Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller, you there? We lost that one? Okay. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line is 824-9952. 824-9952. Is that a caller? Okay. Now, there were some other things in the news apart from Ambassador to Belgium Gate. We see where the nurses are threatening industrial action because they are tired of waiting for relief. Is that a caller? Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
Hi, Miss Malcolm.
Hello.
I'm really enjoying the show today.
Thank you.
I mean,
you.
I just want you to know that these people are not going to speak the truth. Like you say, what's the fire has to do with spending all that money? While she's over there spending all that money, we are here getting a little package of unlabeled rice, unlabeled corned beef, and 123 oil. I don't know where that came from. But this is my point. If I were in trouble, I would want you in my corner.
Oh.
The only thing I really like to see right now, for them to speak the truth, is to see you in a ring with every one of them with your boxing gloves on and beat the hell out of them, so we can speak the truth. Have a good day.
Thank you so much for calling. Yeah, man. At least I must say I'm very proud of the former minister and Michael Pintard for coming forward and saying no, ain't no justifying this. Kudos to you both. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
I'm calling to give you give that caller the number for the Department
Please
of
go
Social
ahead.
Services.
Yes.
That's 604 4200.
Say it again.
604 4200.
Thank you, JT.
Sure, you're welcome.
Much appreciated. All right. Do I take a call? Do I go to this clip with the Minister of Health? I'm waiting for my producer to let me know whether or not that's a call for the show. It is? Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller. You need to turn your radio or whatever you're listening to us down, please, because we're getting feedback.
Hello?
Hi, you're on the air.
Yes. Could you give me the address for the person where they say getting throughout the house or something?
The caller didn't give us the address, sir. All he said was Pastel Gardens. That's all we know.
Which garden?
Pastel.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks for calling. All right. As I started to say, the nurses are up in arms. I know we can get to know more topics today because the phone keep ringing and I ain't complaining. I love it. I love it when you guys are a part of the show because this is your day. Friday is your day as my co-host. So the more the merrier. So I'm just waiting on my producer to let me know if that's a caller for the show. And I don't want to start the clip if it is, because then the person will be on hold for too long. So talk to me quickly, please, Jason. Is that a caller or not? Okay, he's not responding. Okay, so the nurses are up in arms. They feel that their needs have been ignored for too long, and now they're ready to take industrial action. And so the Minister of Health, it is a caller? Okay, caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, ma'am. Michelle, how you doing there again? Yeah, this is the gentleman who called to the Pastor Gabby.
Yeah.
I wanted to give the gentleman who called about the directions to the lady. I also got the number for the social services that the gentleman sent us now. I got that.
Okay, good.
Okay. If anybody was I was there and I took her some lunch already today. But if anybody know
Tell you what.
Budget from Fade
Tell you what. Give the address to my producer, and then the person who called asking for the address can call back, and we'll provide that to him. Okay.
Great.
Because I really don't know if I won't put her address like that over the air.
Okay, great.
All right. Okay, so just give it to my producer.
Great.
And then caller who called a moment ago asking for directions. My producer can connect you with the young man, and y'all could figure out what to do to help that woman. All right. Nurses up in arms. They say they're tired. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health, Dr. Michael Darville, says efforts are underway to address concerns of the Bahamas Nurses Union, and the union has voted to strike over a number of issues, including an outstanding industrial agreement. So here is what the Minister of Health had to say.
We're not thinking about them withdrawing their services. Our job is to work with them to solve some of these complex issues. The union has been very supportive to this particular point. There's some outstanding issues, and of course the union feel that they need to be expedited. We are of the same view. In this year's budget, fortunately for us, there's some legroom that will allow us to do some things that we could not do in the last budget. But we are hoping and praying that we will stay at the table and work out our differences. No one likes to go to the street. Definitely the Bahamian people would not like to see essential services disrupted. We have the same view at the Ministry of Health, and we will work with all unions to ensure that they stay on the job and we address their concerns.
You said there are some.
All right, so that was the voice of, for the UN radio, the voice of the Minister of Health, Dr. Darville, talking about the nurses, and he's hoping that they can work things out. And guess what? We are hoping that too, because that is such an essential service, and we lose a lot of nurses to the United States and Canada, quite frankly, because they get treated so much better there. The pay is, I mean, they actually go after our nurses because they are so well trained. And we lose many of them because they get treated a lot better in those countries. So we have to find a way to really improve the way our nurses, our healthcare professionals on the whole, but our nurses in particular, are treated. They've been complaining for years about working in poor conditions. And I'm really hoping that there's something in this budget that will address all of their needs as it relates to the environment in which they work, because it's not just unhealthy for them, it's unhealthy for the patients that you're bringing in there. You know, we've been hearing complaints about mold in the hospital for a long time now. So, and that's just one of the problems. So air conditioning units not working, all this kind of thing. People, the nurses saying, man, it's inhumane to ask us to continue to work under these conditions. So I really do hope that they are able to work things out so that there is not a general strike of the nurses, because that could be catastrophic for us, considering that, you know, even though this is a mild version and numbers are dropping, COVID is still out there, you know, God forbid some new variant comes along that, you know, is not as mild as this one. Imagine us being in the middle of that with the nurses out sick, not out sick, but out, you know, withdrawing their service. So our hope and prayer is that everything works out and that they are able to, you know, come to some kind of agreement so that our nurses will remain on the job. Because Lord knows we need you. And, you know, I would like to say we appreciate you, nurses, for all that you do. So let's hope that they're able to work that out. Sounds like we may have one more call before we get out of here. So let's see if that is a caller for the show or not. Is it? Yeah, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi, everybody is talking about how much the furniture costs. Now, since the furniture have been, some of them have been shipped, customs had to declare it. So who had the furniture? I think that should be the next question. What happened to the furniture?
Who said the furniture was shipped? Who said the furniture was shipped? Where you get that from?
Ask one of your friends, okay?
I haven't heard that, seriously.
Okay. You know, there are some interesting things that you hear. Okay, some of the furniture have been shipped. So
shipped to the Bahamas?
Furniture, who have them? Who cleared them?
Boy, you see,
Okay.
you trying to cause problems on this show today.
No, okay.
You ain't gonna run me up on no breaks.
Okay.
Thank you for calling. Anybody out there who needs assistance, social services number 604-4200. 604-4200 is the number to call. Listen, man, if you need help, there's no shame in reaching out and saying, I need help. Because we all been there. Some of us going through now. There's no shame in that, especially knowing what we all have just come through with the pandemic and the decisions that the competent authority made to shut the country down and, economy being what it is now, trying to come back. It's rough for a lot of people. A lot of people still hurting, still going through. And my heart goes out to that woman. And I just hope that she receives some assistance because it's rough, y'all. It's rough. And I do want to encourage everyone, if you're going through, just hang in there because bad times don't last forever. It will come to pass and it will get better. Okay? So I just want to encourage you, Mom, if you're listening, or anyone else who is going through a difficult time, it's going to get better, y'all. And if you're not a believer, I encourage you to become a believer because he is a way maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. And even when you don't see it, he's working. Even when you can't feel it, he's working. He never stops working. Just got to trust, believe, and put yourself in position to receive. And then watch God move on your behalf. All right. I got one more message here on Facebook. This one says, we need to stop being distracted by the Defense Force and police in Carmichael plotting. I think you may have tuned in late to the show. We dealt with that at the very top of the show, where the Minister of National Security is giving people who are trespassing 14 days to vacate or face the consequences. And Miko says, what are they doing about the flooding? What we need to do about the flooding, Miko, is stop cutting down the trees, because that contributes to the flooding. We just create the problem and then complain when the problem don't get fixed what we created. We got to stop creating the problem. That's just my 5 cents. So listen, y'all, I'm going to get out of here because every 4 o'clock right here on Global Radio 99.5 FM every Friday, we have another show that's coming to you live out of Grand Bahama, where we hear from the environmentalists and their take on what's going on in our country. So I ain't going to talk long no more today because time gone. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your world for the last 2 hours. I really do appreciate y'all's support. Thank you very much. But my time is gone. I am going to enjoy my weekend. I know, but y'all, I encourage you that whatever you do, be safe. All right? I'll see you guys next week. I gone.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is 99.5 Global FM.